So a few months ago, I was staying at a hostel for a dance festival. And I met this girl in the hostel, an American girl who was traveling through Europe. I think she was mostly in Germany, and she was riding her bike. She had flown her bike out here, and she was riding her bike through different cities, and it was really cool. And I was listening to her talk, and then she was asking me about dancing. And I was like, oh, I love dancing. I'm spending all my time doing it. I'm having so much fun and different things like that, and just showing how passionate I was about it. But then I asked her, like, well, what are you passionate about? What do you love? And she's like, I don't have any passions. And I was like, what does that mean? And she proceeded to tell me how she doesn't believe in having passions. And I was like, well, why? Of course, I don't understand that because I'm a very passionate person. So I'm like, well, why is that the case? And she said she doesn't believe in having passions because she sees how people with passions, they have it and then sometimes they don't. And I was like, what does that mean? Can you give me more details? And so she tells me how her brother has different passions. He'll love something a whole lot, and then maybe the next year he's not doing that anymore. And then I'm still sitting there wondering, I don't get it. And I go, well, if he's loving something and then he doesn't, I don't understand the problem. He loves something. He loved something a lot, actually. What was the issue? What's the issue with the fact that he's decided to love something else, or that he's moving on to something else? And why do you feel so bad about that issue? Because this is clearly you projecting that you have an issue with him flip-flopping. What's the actual issue? Well, I just don't want to be perceived as someone who's doing that. Okay, well then what's the negative story here? And she basically was saying she didn't want to be perceived as someone who decided to change. And oh my God, of course, if you know me, this makes no sense. So I'm talking to her and I'm like, what's so bad about change, and why do you fear so much the judgment of others watching you change? Wouldn't it be better to love something passionately, love excitedly, go after it, learn about it, participate it, be excited? Would you really give all of that up just so you never have that feeling and so you can say that you didn't change? Doesn't seem logical at all. If anything, the world needs more passionate people. You don't have to have the same passion forever. You're allowed to change. It's okay to change. And clearly change was her big issue. And change and the fear of change is a big issue for a lot of people. But I encourage you to think about the fact that, well, one, to grow, we have to change. And if we don't change, we don't grow. And if you're not growing, you're dying. But what would we, like, where would the world be if no one had any passion and no one went after things they love? I've loved volleyball for a very long time and I don't play it anymore. At least not right now, and that's okay. I have another passion. I love dancing. And if next year I don't want to dance, I don't regret any of this time dancing. So if you're really loving something and you're putting your heart into it, I don't think it's an issue that it doesn't last your entire life. Because the feeling and the excitement and the motivation to learn and participate when you're passionate about something is so good that why would you stop yourself from having that feeling? That just doesn't make any sense to me. The world needs more passionate people. The world needs more passionate people. If more people in the world were passionate about what they do daily, especially for work, but not only for work, but especially for work, the world would be an entirely different place. Remember when you were in high school or middle school and you had a teacher who absolutely loved what they taught? And do you remember how a teacher like that could make a subject that you don't like interesting? Because passion, it's such an igniting feeling that it can make other people excited about it. You can make other people love what you love just by being passionate about it. It doesn't mean they're going to go do it, but they will become more interested in it because of your passion. And let me tell you, if you want to be more attractive, go be passionate. Passion is attractive because people want that. When someone else speaks to me about their passion, I feel attracted to them, and it makes me more excited about my own passions as well. If more people were like this in the world would be an entirely different place. The energy that comes from people when they're passionate about something is so contagious, and it gives so many other people good feelings, that if more of us were passionate about anything other than watching Netflix, it would be an entire different world. So I really encourage you to go find your passion. Don't be scared of change. It's okay, because you might learn a lot. You won't, it's not a might. You will learn a lot about yourself when you're passionate about something. So go be passionate. Go be great. And love something. Stop being so scared to love. Stop being so scared of change. The change will bring you to the greatness. You can't stay still and become great.